Welcome to Mirror Domains! And this is my full live watch-along for Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Yes, we continue on with the prequels this week for Franchise Movie Day here on Mirror Domains. Yes, we watched Episode 1 and 2, and this is all leading towards the Clone Wars series that we're going to get into starting next week. We'll be watching the Clone Wars movie, and then we'll be going straight into the seasons and going on because I want to be all caught up for when Ahsoka comes out this year. And, well, yeah, I felt like we would go in and watch the prequel trilogy. Now, guys, if you haven't watched one of these from me before, you know how this works. I can't show you the entire movie here on the side due to copyright reasons, you know? I don't want to get hit with a copyright strike, but I'll do my best with my little tips and tricks to let you know where I'm at within the movie so you guys can follow along. This is all part of a nice little playlist that you can follow up there to see where, or what other movies we've reacted to. It's going to be fairly, well, I'm going to be talking a lot because I know a lot about Star Wars. So, I've seen this multiple times in the theater. I'm just going to hit play and we'll get underway because it's just over 2 hours and 20 minutes, which will be just around 12 o'clock for us to get underway. And, yeah, I'm sitting episode 3 right now, sorry. And we are underway for Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Now, I haven't been reading the crawls because I'm leaving that up to you guys. Later on today at 1 p.m., just after this, we will be watching The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 7. So come back. It's Star Wars Day here on the channel. And yeah, what better way to start off? Hey, it's spring. It's starting to get a bit warm outside. It's going to be like plus 20 today. Unbelievable. And yeah, we're starting off watching Revenge of the Sith. So if you didn't know, Episode 2 is up on the channel right now. Guys, I got hit with a whole bunch of copyright claims for Episode 2, so I'm going to try to limit the amount of actual soundtrack that I play because that's the number one thing that people get caught up with. It's just, those are the breaks. And my intentions with these were always to have this as like the base video, but then later on, if I want to take this video and expand it to like cut it down to like the 20, 30 minute reactions that you see with other reactors, that's what I wanted to do. So here we are. I like how it opens up with the drum beat there, which is oddly not in the soundtrack. You have to get the extended soundtrack to get that drum. But we see two starships coming across like a proto Star Destroyer. Awesome tracking shot. And then they go over, and we see that a huge battle is going on. Wow. It's seeing this on the big screen. It's totally worth it. Totally worth it, man. I hear that Return of the Jedi is coming back for a limited release this month, too, in theaters. So I recommend go seeing that, too. We'll get to the original trilogy someday. So it's mostly music here, guys. That's an actual kitchen sink that the animators put in there.
Master,
hey, there's Anakin.
General Grievous's ship is directly ahead.
The one crawling with vulture
droids. Okay, so Anakin and Obi-Wan are back together, huh? So the Clone Wars takes place in between these movies. Obviously, because some fairly definitive stuff happens in this movie. Oh, there's the clones. So the clone troopers have their own versions of like X-Wing, proto X-Wings, right? Those are the vulture droids. But I like how the Jedi's almost like TIE Fighter-ish, right? Like, all this stuff looks phenomenal. Sound design, right up off the bat from Ben Burt. Wow. Just checking my stream integrity. Everything seems to be going kosher. Now, this whole opening sequence, they haven't even gotten onto the ship yet. But like this original cut, the original cut of Revenge of the Sith, this whole battle above Coruscant took up to an hour, if you can believe that. So he's just establishing here that, yeah, he's a pilot. Very good pilot. Buds droids. Buffer in the live chat says, comparing Hayden Christensen or Daisy Ridley, I choose Hayden every time, all the time. Yeah, Hayden did a good job. Like in this one, really showcased, it allowed him to stretch a little bit.
Get to the command ship, get the Chancellor. I'm running out of tricks here.
But they're just establishing here that Anakin still cares about Obi-Wan. He's not going to accept defeat. Right? So these droids just kind of cut into the ship and break it away.
They're all over me.
And Anakin's just ramming them off. Yeah, see? So he still cares about him. I'm not leaving without you, Master. Oh yeah, we're going to have lots of fun watching this. There's so much we can... So R2's with Anakin, and R4 is still with Obi-Wan, it looks like. Or R4 got his head ripped off. R5 is in Mandalorian, right? I zapped him. Yeah. So Anakin flipped around to blow the shields. Doors drop in. This is such an awesome shot of Obi-Wan. I gotta get this. Yeah. And seeing them both fight side by side is awesome. Dispatching droids.
R2, locate the Chancellor.
You notice his robes are more black now instead of brown. Anakin's. They're much darker.
I sense a trap.
Count Dooku.
Next move?
Spring the trap.
So as I said, there were different takes of this, different cuts where they get separated, and Anakin actually ended up fighting Dooku all by himself, which I think worked better. But here's Grievous. Coughing. Now, he would have just had his lungs crushed by Mace Windu, right? Yeah, Obi-Wan and Anakin, the original ram and beam. Yeah. From RR&R? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there was big long sequences of them going through like fuel tanks and getting wet and stuff like that, but they cut all that. There were sequences where he they met up with Shock T, who gets killed by General Grievous, but they changed that. Actually, they took out Shock T altogether. So they're still using R2 here. So Anakin using some force powers.
On the move.
R2, we need to be going up.
Hands up, Jedi.
Hands up. Yeah. And actually, the fight where Anakin takes on Dooku by himself, if you go and see some of the deleted scenes, there's a channel up there that's put in like the lightsaber effects and redid the background so they actually sort of see what it looked like. And Anakin does so many other cool fights with his lightsaber in this that got cut, which sucks. But we'll talk about the lightsaber fights as we get into them. Because as I said in episode 2, Lucas
Has been.
No loose wire jokes.
Did I say?
Lucas wanted a different feel for every lightsaber fight. Some people just wanted it to always be like that Darth Maul fight, but no, he was really trying different things. But we have to pay attention to the fights here. It's very throne room, like from the Death Star throne room, right? And that's intentional.
Count Dooku. I was about to say that.
Yeah. And Dooku was going to whisper something to Anakin to make him mad. Palpatine.
Sith Lords are our speciality.
Are they?
I've been looking forward to this.
My powers have doubled since the last time we...
Right. So he's taunting him there, right? And there's something about these lightsabers, like I don't think they use lights on the like they did for the sequel trilogy for them. They still use the old-fashioned animating them afterwards here, I think. All right. Flings Obi-Wan over there. Apparently Dooku was going to whisper to Anakin that he was responsible for killing his mother.
Yeah, you, Skywalker.
Look at Christopher Lee. Yeah. So there was some added dialogue before Anakin gets in here. Now watch these moves when, because this will come up later. Watch how he tries to push him off here. Like the. See how he turned his back to him? That'll come up later, guys. Trust me. And it worked on Dooku. And he's like, kill him now. What? And Dooku's like, what the? heck?
I shouldn't.
Yeah, he's resisting.
Do it.
Palpatine uses his Sith voice there. So, Anakin is still listening to Palpatine. He listened to the command. Just do it.
To revenge. It wasn't the first time,
Okay.
He seems to be all right.
Leave him or we'll never make it.
So Palpatine tries to get Anakin to leave Obi-Wan behind there. The sound design on those things. Awesome. Oh, Wilhelm scream. Oh, God, that looks awesome. Yeah, seeing that in the theater is just like great opening scene. And if this continued on for an hour, which it was supposed to, it just got tiresome. So yeah, I agree that they had to cut a lot of this stuff out. And because like this doesn't really, while it sets certain things in motion, it's not really too relevant to the plot. It's just re-establishing our main characters, right? Great sequence though, I like it. Oh, R2. Oh, starting to level out. You gotta think, how hard would it be for Palpatine not to use his powers here? Like, let's say Anakin didn't grab a hold of something, and they were gonna hit the bottom. Palpatine would have used his powers to stop them.
Oops. R2, shut down the elevator.
So he's being very trusting of them there. Yeah.
Still flyable. R2, get down here.
We're from the Jedi. They're in hallway 328.
Activate ray shields.
So where are we at so far? 18 minutes in.
Yes. R2 will be along in a few moments, and then he'll release the ray shields.
Whoops. Yeah. Battle droids. So this is the big meeting that people were wanting to see right now. I think Anakin must have seen Grievous before in the Clone Wars, right? You would think that he would have.
Negotiator, General Kenobi.
General Kenobi. Yeah. Oh yeah, and you see Palpatine was kind of looking over at Grievous there, kind of like motioning him, right?
General Grievous. You're shorter than I expected.
Like, Grievous is such a great concept. awesome concept. Like Lucas, like you never saw anything like Grievous in the sequel trilogy.
This time you won't escape.
Archie.
Yeah. These guys with the vibro staffs or whatever they're called. Sound like flies or something. What do they call those? Cuts off the head and then still going. Yeah. Those fly traps are where the flies hit the buzzer things and it fries them. That's what it sounds like. See, Grievous is not afraid here. He can fight 2 Jedis. This is cool. Yeah. You can see him walking on the outside there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh is right, R2.
Time to abandon ship.
Yeah. So he launches all the escape pods so nobody can get out. There's a droid control ship.
Like this? You mean do I know how to land what's left of this thing?
Well,
So they're trying to slow it down. Again, this is cool too.
we are still flying half a ship.
Half a ship, yeah. I don't think that comes in as any consolation, Obi-Wan. But you would think about it. You got a city planet. Crashes will happen.
Atmosphere. Grab that. Keep us level.
I like the music there. That's the theme from episode 1. That was used in the trailers. First teaser for this movie. Not this part. This music.
Fire ships on the left and the right.
This music was used in the first teaser. But yeah, this is so cool. Like seeing the ships putting like fire retardant on them. And you can feel the weight of it, right? Because of the way it's shot. Yeah, hitting a tower. How many people died in that?
Another happy landing.
So that's our opening sequence. And how long was that? Our opening sequence took 23 minutes. To think that that went on for another 40 minutes before we actually even got to the... Like, this is the start of the basic movie here, right?
Oh
No, I'm not brave enough for politics. I have to report to the council. Besides,
The poster boy.
and you rescued the Chancellor, carrying me unconscious on your back.
All because of your train.
Your training. Yeah. Credit to Palpatine not dropping his guard through all the chaos. Yeah. It would have been so easy to like, yeah, I'm not falling down here. But you see that they have some camaraderie there, that they have become good friends, which is cool. Oh, there's Jar Jar.
Yes, thanks to your 2 Jedi Knights, they killed Count Dooku.
No, that girl in blue behind is Lucas's daughter.
The Senate will vote to continue the war as long as Grievous is alive.
In the Jedi.
Okay. So you got to capture Grievous to end the war. Did you hear that? Somebody said, watch it, and
Be as bad as all that.
Jar Jar was like, excuse me.
In fact, I could do with a tune.
Talking with Bail Organa. Jimmy Smits. Padme. Here, one of my favorite tunes in all the Star Wars, Across the Stars. She's got very much Leia buns.
There were whispers that you'd been killed.
I'm tired of all this deception. I don't care if they know we're married.
Okay, so they've been hot and heavy. Well, they were married. I mean, come on. Pregnant. Huh. Their friendship makes Anakin's story arc all the more fantastic and dramatic. It was a gradual turn, but his turn is really ramped up in this episode. Yeah, I can't wait for the Bo-Katan and Mando kiss. Is there going to be a kiss? I don't think so. Okay, so they're wondering what they're going to do about the pregnancy.
Don't worry about anything right now. Alright. This is a happy moment.
Natalie Portman. She's vulnerable here, right? And she just played that scene. I thought she's really great in these movies. Like, Padme is one of my favorite characters. Okay, so this music here is very Harry Potter-ish, isn't it? So they're going to this is the Utapau system. General Grievous. You notice how he walks. He walks very much like the Geonosians run, right? You know that crouched kind of running that you saw at the end of episode 2 when they were all scattering?
Yes, Lord Sidious.
Lord Sidious. So we're seeing Sidious earlier in this film.
War is near, General.
But the loss of Count
Dooku. A necessary loss. So he's already plotting for his next apprentice. And I like that storyline that Lucas brought into the prequels, that Palpatine's always been trying to refresh his apprentices, which makes sense in the sequel trilogy when he tries to recruit Luke. Okay, so some clunky dialogue here.
We can go to the lake country where no one will know, where we can be safe.
Beautiful.
So love has blinded you.
Love has blinded you. And I think Lucas did a good job of casting Hayden, because they do have good chemistry. So, nightmare. Now, we only heard him having the nightmares in episode 2, but this time around we actually get to see a little bit of his vision. Now, this scene hurts bounty hunters. They dishonor their profession. This scene? Why? Bounty hunters? And I like how they extended the set. So now we see that there was a back room there with a balcony. But we did get to see this part of her apartment in episode 2. There's your poor snippet that he cut from episode 1.
Before she died. And it was about you.
So he's trying to shake it off.
This baby will change our lives. I doubt the queen.
So he's worried that. So, if Anakin were truly Jedi,
we don't need his
I think
help.
Obi-Wan can help us. We don't need his help. So you can see that a little bit of the dark side is already started to creep in on him there, right? Because if he was truly Jedi, he would have taken her offer of, okay, let's just go to Naboo. I'll renounce my status as a Jedi, and we'll just go raise our kid, and we'll be fine because she's got enough money, and they'll be living a very comfortable life on Naboo. But no, he doesn't want to. He still wants to be part of the Jedi.
Death.
Yourself, you speak of.
He's using the Force here to not let Yoda read into him too far.
Seeing the future, Anakin, the fear of loss is a path to the dark side. A part of life. Rejoice for those around you who transform into the Force.
Yeah. Death is a natural part of life, but this advice from Yoda.
What must I do, Master Yoda?
Train yourself to let go of everything you fear to lose.
Yeah, and we're human. We're not going to do that. I think it's necessary to feel the pain when you feel loss of someone. You can't let it control you, right? Which, unfortunately, Anakin does. Master Voss. Quinlan Voss? More executive powers?
Friend Palpatine.
Careful of what? He's requested your presence.
This is unusual, and it's making me feel uneasy.
They still don't... Well, yeah, the Jedi suspect him by now. They suspect there's something going on with Palpatine. They just need the evidence, I suppose, before they say something. This scene took a lot longer here, too. This is...
I hope you trust me, Anakin.
Of course.
Son. Now that's just speech, right? Just a common thing that he said, son. He doesn't actually refer to him as a son.
I'm appointing you to be my personal representative on the Jedi Council.
A master.
I think they will. They need you.
Again, Palpatine's
More than you.
puffing him up, bolstering his ego there, massaging it. So Palpatine is getting more powers, and he's going to put Anakin on the council, even though that's not what the Jedi would want.
Likely, the Council does not. Disturbing is this move by Chancellor Palpatine.
But we do not grant you the rank of master.
What?
How can you do this? This is outrageous.
He sucks it up here.
Forgive me, Master.
Forgive me. Yeah. And do you think Palpatine knew that they were going to react that way, right? And it would make Anakin angry? Which again, that's good writing.
It is critical
On
we
the
send an
Wookiees.
attack group there immediately.
He's right. It's a system we cannot afford to lose.
Reinforce the Wookiees on Kashyyyk.
Kashyyyk.
Put me on the council and not make me a master. It's never been done in the history of the Jedi. It's insulting.
Yeah. This is a good scene.
When he interferes in Jedi affairs.
This way.
Chancellor Palpatine seems to have paid off.
There's nothing to do with this.
So,
Anakin, I am on your side. I didn't want to put you in this situation. want to know what he's up to.
That's it is shady of the council to go around it like this.
We are at war, Anakin. Why didn't the council give me this assignment when we were in...
Okay, so Anakin's going to bat for the Chancellor here.
Anakin, our allegiance is to the Senate, not to its leader, who is... Anakin, something is out of place.
Against a mentor and a friend, that's what's out of place here. Why are you asking this?
Council. Yeah. And Ewan McGregor there too. And Hayden had really good bouncing off there, right? You could feel the tension between them.
Together. I don't think the boy can handle it. I don't trust him.
Prophecy.
That misread could have been.
I like that look from Windu where he's just kind of like nodding at him. Yeah. Perhaps Palpatine's passive-aggressive behavior would have definitely heightened the Jedi Council's awareness, but he is always a few moves ahead of them. Weaponizing Anakin would be his final move. Yeah. Because he's trying to get like his grip of the dark side of the want and the lust for power, right? As meat hooks into him.
I think this war is destroying the principles of the Republic.
On the wrong side.
What do you mean?
What if the democracy we thought we were serving no longer exists?
And you're sounding like a separatist.
Huh.
Ask him to stop the fighting and let diplomacy resume.
Whew. And there was a subplot here that got cut of Padme working with Mon Mothma and Bail Organa to establish the beginnings of the rebellion. Which I hope that they put those, like in a future cut, now that they've got it, put those scenes back in, because those scenes really help tie into things like Andor and Rogue One. Okay, so a little squabble in between them. You notice how Anakin's always running somewhere. Now, I don't know why. I thought Lucas wanted to show us Anakin running everywhere. Oh, talking about Lucas. So in the corner here, that's Lucas. That's George Lucas right there, and his daughter. Yeah, Anakin's always running. I think it's because Lucas wanted to show that he's always late to things. Late because he's with Padme.
Double the location of General Grievous. He's hiding in the Utapau system.
So he wants Anakin to go after Grievous.
Leave us.
He just says leave us to the rest of his entourage there, and they all pick up and go. Now, Ian McDiarmid filmed this scene with laryngitis or something, or bronchitis, so he was losing his voice.
I'm not sure I understand.
What plot?
You must sense Anakin, search your feelings.
I know they don't trust you.
Or the Senate.
What?
They asked you to do something that made you feel dishonest, didn't they? They asked you to spy on me, didn't they?
So Palpatine knows. Yeah, I mean, it's a common play.
All who gain power are afraid to lose it.
Good as a point of view, it is.
Being their quest for greater power.
Themselves.
And the Jedi don't.
So there's the old dogma of like,
Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Darth Plagueis. Yeah.
Darth Plagueis was a dark lord of the Sith,
And so wise.
force to influence the midi-chlorians to create life. Keep the ones he cared about from dying.
When he said that in the theater, I got like goosebumps.
This is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be
Mhm.
Unfortunately, he taught his apprentice everything he
His
knew.
apprentice? Me and
Then
you?
his apprentice killed him in his sleep.
Huh. That little slight grin. Now,
And this power.
Not from a Jedi.
yeah. Now we're going to Kashyyyk, but yeah, that whole scene is just awesome Star Wars. It's just like so much lore in it, and it's just the dialogue. Ian McDiarmid and Hayden Christensen did it well. We get to see one of my favorite Jedi. Was it Boss Offrey or what? Barriss Offrey? She's directing Clone Troopers here, right there. She's one of my favorites. It's a bummer we don't get to see more of her. Hopefully we see more of her in the Clone Wars. I want to see that.
A partial message was intercepted.
But yeah, that whole thing of when he said he could even stop people from dying, the hair stood up on the back of my neck. It's like, now, he's afraid of Padme dying. We see what's going to happen here, right? It's a powerful scene.
The council will make up its own mind who is to go.
Not the Chancellor. When we saw early renderings of this scene, and Ki-Adi was in Hollow, people thought that Ki-Adi was a ghost, Force ghost, but no, they were just talking to people through like Hollow transmission.
No, the time is, Commander.
Yeah, that this is a cool shot. Yeah, see, they made full suits for the Wookiees. Like Lucas said, okay, let's make full costumes for the Wookiees, but let's not make full costumes for the clone troopers. Like, why though? Come on, it's not that hard. Yeah, it's a little bit more money for the budget, but it would have made it feel a little bit more tangible. All this stuff is great. Yeah, my ears woke up. So did Palpatine's cause Padme's death? It's a theory. Or Palpatine caused the dream. That's a possibility. Palpatine had the ability to affect people's thoughts.
I've disappointed you. I haven't been very appreciative of your training.
So he's gotten some humility here. And I like that look by Ewan. Because Ewan's realizing that, yeah, he's growing up.
I taught you everything I know, and you have become a far greater.
Very reminiscent of that scene from episode 1 when Qui-Gon was saying to him,
With you. Goodbye, old friend. May the Force be with you.
when Qui-Gon was saying to him, you'll be a much wiser man than me, or you'll be a much better Jedi than me, right? So things echo, things rhyme, right? That was always what Lucas wanted. And where are we at here now? 51 minutes. That's Cody, right?
Very well. The burden is on me not to destroy.
Commander Cody, which we're going to learn more about too. Yeah, I can't wait for watching the Clone Wars with you guys, because I haven't seen it, so it's going to be quite the experience, hopefully. Again, going into one of those things that gives them hyperdrive.
Save your energy.
He's worried about me.
I feel lost.
Yeah.
Something's happening. I'm not the Jedi I should be.
He wants more. Like power. Right? That's the seeds of what Palpatine's is getting a hold of him.
Is that what's bothering you?
I won't lose you, Padme.
I like that scene a lot. Like when he's saying, like, something's happening. Yeah. I'm not the Jedi I should be. Yeah. Because if he really was, he would just walk away from it and go raise his kid with Padme. Yeah, it's a time of war, but Obi-Wan's a master Jedi. So, Obi-Wan lands on on Utapau. Utapau, right? When he saw this guy in the trailer, in the teaser, he thought he was going to be a bad guy.
Held hostage. They are watching us.
It is a creepy design. If you have warriors, now's the time. So they were being watched, 55. This is one of my favorite tunes. Yeah. This is just John Williams having fun. Cool creature design, too. I forget what it's called. Ooh. So those are the separatist leaders that we saw. Newt Gunray from the second one.
System in the outer rim.
Mustafar system. Lava planet, right?
You have not found yourself in my grip.
So Grievous warning them to back off. I missed it. Sorry. Hello there. So he was only doing this as a distraction, right? A boga. Is that what it's called? Boga? Okay, thanks, Artglass. Yeah.
Back away! I will deal with this Jedi slime!
Now, I had watched the cartoon, the 2D Clone Wars cartoon, before this, because it came up before episode 3, right? So I was expecting Grievous here to do what he did in the animated cartoon. It's still menacing, but like I expected him to be hopping around and jumping off walls and stuff. Which I guess he sort of does, but he's just... Obi-Wan's a master Jedi here. He's going to disable him as quickly as possible, which we pretty much see. Yeah, there goes a hand. The Grievous that we saw in the 2D animated, that one happened. Not as quickly. Yeah. And there's the clone troopers. Ooh. I do like this line from Grievous.
Army or not, you must realize you are doomed.
Yeah. That's so weird, eh? Varactyl? Named Boga? Or riding a Varactyl? Okay. That's what that lizard thing is called, Varactyl? It's cool, though. Now, in the bonus stuff, Steven Spielberg came in and directed some parts of this extended scene of the Grievous being chased by Obi-Wan. There's a big part where he goes through canyons and stuff like that Spielberg had input on, but that got cut out. Yeah. Mace Windu's not having any of this, right?
The Sith's a plot to destroy the Jedi.
Yeah.
The Jedi Council wanted to take control of the Senate
So those two urn things behind him are Sith artifacts. So many Sith artifacts in his office. I'm surprised that the Jedi never picked up on any of it. Like force healing. Where's the force healing, right? That's why I didn't like those additional powers that they added on in the sequel trilogy. Because it just makes more of a mess for them to clean up later. Or explaining things. Nature of the dark side. Nice place. Your wife.
You're the Sith Lord.
Yeah. In the original script, this is when he did accept his offer here.
Than that of an ordinary Jedi. A life of significance, of conscience.
This is when he turned. But I'm glad that they readjusted it.
I can feel your anger. It gives you focus.
Using his Palpatine voice there. Sidious voice. Yeah. Originally he turned here, and he stayed there. He stayed in the office with Palpatine, so then when Mace Windu and them come, Anakin's already there. But I like how they changed it up a little bit here. Because when Windu comes in and they fight, Anakin's actually walking behind them, but they rotoscoped him out. They cut him out. Like Anakin's watching Palpatine fight Windu. It's very interesting. There's footage of it too, of Anakin standing behind him online. So yeah, this scene of them going through like the canyons and stuff like that, it was much longer, but they cut it down to the timing and stuff like that. But Spielberg had input on this kind of stuff. Hmm. And yeah, my God, Obi-Wan gets knocked around here. It is a robot. And here we see that he has a heart. So he's got some actual organs and stuff in there. He tries to kick him. He's like, ow. Yeah. Again, that's just Lucas saying that this is like robots and humans can sort of mix, kind of like setting the stage for what Anakin's going to become, right?
So uncivilized.
Now, I may feel different about the death of Grievous there after we watch Clone Wars, because we know that he's got a lot more, right? In Clone Wars.
I think Chancellor Palpatine is a Sith Lord.
A Sith Lord?
He knows the ways of the Force. He's been trained to use the dark side.
Hmm. So remember, this is a pickup scene. And it
No. If what you've told me is true, you will have gained my trust.
I like it because it sets up more friction between Mace Windu and Anakin, which I wish Anakin fought Mace Windu a little bit when he comes into the office scene, because that would have been really cool, right? To go toe-to-toe with the second best Master Jedi, right? But I like that how that paid off, and I like how this pays off. This music. Yeah, the music. Padme's Ruminations. That's what it's called on the soundtrack. I'm just going to turn up my volume because I want to listen to it loud. I'm sorry that you guys can't hear it because of copyright reasons. But I like how this also establishes like her looking out at the Jedi Temple and how he's always looking out windows, looking at the horizon, trying to look into the future and stuff, looking out. Because that's something that Darth Vader does on the bridges of Star Destroyers and stuff, right? And you can feel her. You can feel that she's looking. Yeah. So I like that setup much better than him just waiting in the office. It's kind of like an addict, right? It's like he's fighting it. He knows he shouldn't go. He knows he shouldn't have it, but it beats him anyway, and he's going to run to it. It has been destroyed then.
I must say you're here
Sooner than expected. Chancellor. And in fact, it wasn't Palpatine's own saber. It was Anakin's lightsaber that he fights with. And you'll see the hilt, actually. Now that's his own hilt. That's a Sith yell. And he just quickly dispatches them. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Anakin was walking behind them here, following them. See how there's a lot of close-up shots and stuff? Again, this is Lucas saying that he wanted to try a different kind of sword-style fight. He wanted to see a lot of the face interactions here. Originally, Nick Gilliard, he had this big elaborate fight that was going to be like the stuntman doing all the fighting, and they would just put the faces on later. But Lucas changed his mind last moment and wanted a different style of fight, which I still think it all works. It's just that Ian McDiarmid, he never trained for it. He didn't have like the month or two to prepare. But he still pulled it off. Yeah. I didn't like how the Jedi were dispensed so quickly by Palpatine. A longer fight scene with each Jedi would have been given a more cool, honorable death. Yeah, it would have. So originally it was supposed to be a bigger, more elaborate fight. Face is distorting there. Now, we think it's distorting because of the electricity, but people have theorized that the Palpatine old man mask was just a mask. Like, that's what he always looked like. And it was just Palpatine. He was using the Force to look like Palpatine. But whatever, that's just mine. gonna kill him here. Yeah. Yeah. Now, could Mace Windu survive that fall? Maybe? No, remember. Grogu would still be at the temple right now, right? So far, I would have only made one big change to this movie, and I would have switched. Only one has achieved? So Palpatine is telling him here that he doesn't know how to cheat death. And he said, we can work together to find it, but Palpatine has already figured out some ways to cheat death by cloning and stuff like that, right? I would have made two alterations here. One of them would have been, I would have had him go kill the Separatists first, and then go to the Jedi Council.
When the Jedi learn what has transpired here, they will kill us.
Ewan Kenobi is now an enemy of the Republic.
Yeah, I agree, Hourglass. That Mace Windu, there's a way that you could bring him back. So, yeah. Originally, in the first drafts of the scripts, Palpatine had like a big underground cavern, lava cavern, underneath the Jedi Temple. And I think it would have worked better if they kept it like that instead of having the Mustafar planet.
Viceroy Gunray.
The Sith will rule the galaxy. And
We shall have
peace. Yeah, but it's just because what he has to do here at the Jedi Council, it's too quick of a flip for most people. Like, yeah, okay, he's accepted that he's going to the dark side. Let him go kill the Separatists first, get a taste for it. We see that his eyes start to change. And then he goes to the Jedi Temple, where he starts to do all these terrible things here. And that's when he has to fight Obi-Wan, that leads down into the underground caverns where the lava is. That it just would have been smoother and would have been not quite as quick of him being like a hero when he wakes up in the morning, a Jedi, to being a murderous thug by the end of the night. That's a bit jarring for some people. And at least with the Separatists, you kind of accept that, yeah, the Separatists were bad guys, right? Like Newt Gunray. That's the only change I would have made. Or one of the big changes. But this is cool. Order 66. And the use of this lizard thing, perfect. The way it screams helps accent your emotions here.
The time has come. Execute Order 60.
And you never got anything like this in the sequel trilogy. Like huge, big reveals about that change things, right? Yeah. And this is hard for me to watch still, too. Like, out of all the times I see it, and you realize, oh, the clone troopers. I thought they looked like stormtroopers. And it shows, like, even a big Master Jedi like Ki-Adi-Mundi. He sees that, he feels about, yeah, they're about to try to kill me. But he can't deflect all the, yeah, he's not that powerful. Yeah. Now, this stuff all could have still been going on. But, Plo Koon, there was talks to use Plo Koon in Mandalorian. That's Plo Koon. And when he crashes here, somehow he survived that crash, but no. Yeah. Still hard to watch. I mean, I still feel it here. Like, I feel like a lump in my throat. And they come for Yoda. Yeah. You're not getting one up on Yoda for sure. The Ahmed Best Keller and Beck Jedi Master storyline would have been cool to be added here. If the Jedi died in the temple, showing Keller and escape would be a small token. Yeah, it would have been. Like, yeah, here and this.
Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?
Like, that's just too jarring for people. I know Lucas wanted that effect, that it's, yeah, he's about to kill younglings. And she's worried that he's died. But I would have, yeah, like here you could have showed Ahmed Best getting away as Bail Organa comes in. Something like that. Yeah, that could have been cool. it wouldn't have made no sense to us at the time when we saw the movie, but yeah.
I'm sorry, sir.
Now I think that one is one of the Noel's son or whatever. But you see what I mean by pacing wise, right? If he killed the separatists first, it would have started to warm us up to him, seeing him killing. And he could still have had the same music beats and everything like that, right? But we just had a huge dire thing happen with the Jedi. And you got two big jarring things happening back to back. Him killing the separatists isn't that jarring. And there's still ways that you could have had him be melted by lava by having that big underground cavernous thing.
Goodbye, Chewbacca.
That's minor, I suppose. Chewbacca. Hmm. Yeah. Whew. So that's Bail Organa, and that's Captain Antilles beside him. Antilles. I think that's the uncle for Wedge Antilles, who was a fighter pilot in New Hope and stuff like that. Wedge Antilles. You must recognize that name, right? Because it was the Organas and Antilles were big. That was George Lucas's adopted son. That was the young Johnny being killed. Oh, okay. Or maybe it was Noel's son that was the one that said, Master Skywalker, what are we going to do? Yeah, maybe that was him. Yeah. We can take a look at that in the post. We'll take a look at the IMDb after. Where are we at, guys? So we got the big turn happening. 127. Still got about 45 minutes left.
I need help.
We have just rescued Master Yoda.
Yeah. You just think about how masterful Palpatine's plans have been crafted to have the clones turn on the Jedi. Like that was his long game plan.
I'm fine. I came to see if you and the baby are safe.
Yeah.
Chancellor myself.
She must feel like scared. Like, and she is. Look at her. Like, are you telling me the truth here? That the Jedi seriously tried to take over the Republic? The Jedi Temple's gone?
What about Obi-Wan?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. She is afraid.
Faith, my love.
He doesn't seem to be too upset about all this either.
I'm going there to end this war.
Like, she's got to be able to feel something a little bit there, right? Like, why isn't he all upset about this? You were a Jedi. A lot of stress. Yeah, Roger Ebert didn't like that line. Oh, he's under a lot of stress. I don't know why that bothers people.
No, thank you, 3PO.
Helpless. Yeah. Actually, yeah, there was a lot of depth in that little interaction there, wasn't there? A little bit of nuance that Natalie Portman had. Yeah, that worked. We're talking about Yoda and Anakin fight near the end of alternate version ending where Yoda fighting Anakin on Mustafar. No, I didn't know anything about that. Order 66 was a kick in the nuts, yeah.
Looking for Yoda. Have we had any contact from the temple?
A massacre that wiped out all the lore into Jedi. I guess because you have Order 66 happening, you have to have Anakin go to the temple. So you would have had to postpone Order 66 until after the Mustafar, until after the Separatists get wiped out. Yeah. Well, there could have been some massaging there, but it's just minor. It just would have made things a little bit tighter. And I'll explain that when we get towards the end, like how Palpatine senses that Anakin's in danger and flies halfway across the galaxy, right? If they kept that underground lava layer, it just would have been quicker and easier. Arrives. You.
Take care of you.
Take care of you? It's like, what? Yeah, would you really trust Darth Sidious? I mean, come on. Okay. So that's Cameo. The guy there, the pilot.
The Supreme Chancellor requests your presence.
Chancellor will not be able to control the thousands of star systems without keeping the Senate.
So the pilot was Jeremy Bulloch, the guy who played Boba Fett originally. We didn't get a good look at his face. That's who it was. The Mustafar system. And R2's there. So he's going to witness all of this murder and mayhem that's about to happen? Oh, he's staying with the ship, so maybe he won't see it. All these droids running away from him. Yoda. That's cool. Throwing the lightsaber. His hero shot. Hunted down and defeated them. This is when Yoda figures out who it was. He knows now who it was. Obi-Wan doesn't. He's not using his feelings. Great soundtrack too. His eyes changed. Yeah. Padme. That's sadly what's sort of happening in the States right now, isn't it? So they are admitting here that there are other Jedi that did survive. And that's why they later on went to make the Inquisitors to hunt them down and stuff, right? As I said, there's only the minor things that could be weak. So he's trusting him there. His master Jedi training experience. You know. So he goes to Padme. She's not scared of Obi-Wan here. So it's like she knows she didn't trust Anakin what he said. We're going to talk about this. If Anakin didn't go to the dark side, would she still have died? Or is it because he went to the dark side? Her heartbreak.
He has become a very great threat.
It's just too much for her.
Anakin is the father, isn't he?
And you know Obi-Wan cares about her, and he cares about him. It's heartbreaking. Music here from John Williams really helps. See, if we saw him kill the Separatists here like this, and we see that he's fighting it, he's struggling it here, the feelings, because he's crying. And then he goes and does the Jedi Temple stuff. But the only way that you could have done it, I suppose, is that you would have had to have Anakin agree in the office, like that earlier scene, have him go on the secret mission to kill the Separatists secretly, and then come back to deal with Order 66 kind of thing. That's the only way you could have done it. So, yeah, with some reshifting in there, you could have made things happen a little bit tighter. But it's just minor. The same events would still happen. It's just the order in which they would have happened. Obi-Wan sneaked on board there. I didn't quite get the shot, but yeah, he snuck up the ramp there.
Taking care of my master.
It is finished.
Units must shut down immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, by far, this is easily the best Star Wars prequel, right? I mean, and I am so happy and overjoyed that younger people who didn't see the movies when they first came out do reactions to them on YouTube now. They really get affected by Anakin's turn to the dark side. They really feel it in here, because you see in the reactions, they didn't come up like some of us who watched it in the theater and like, ooh, Jar Jar sucks. Ooh, I wish this didn't happen. And they don't have that stigma attached to it. So younger audiences are liking this much better. Against me, because I'm the victim, right? Yeah, victimhood. He just kind of like smiles it off. Yeah. Who's gonna help me? I don't need help. Yeah. similar argument with Luke, right? Together we can rule the galaxy. Natalie Portman. So awesome. You got me to well up a little bit there, man.
With him.
So symbolic of what he becomes too, right? Choking everything. Doesn't like something and yeah. You've ruined your own life, kind of thing. And it just echoes. It's a cautionary tale. Like, don't let greed consume you, right?
See through the lies of the Jedi. I do not fear the dark side as you.
And I like how Obi-Wan's checking on her.
And absolutes.
Oh.
I will do what I must.
And here it goes. The fight that we've all had in our minds. We get Battle of Heroes music. Okay, so we'll have, remember I told you what that fight move was with Dooku where he disarms him? He tries it again here on Obi-Wan. I didn't see it before, but he does the exact same sequence of moves. But Obi-Wan is a better fighter than Dooku, obviously, because he beats him. It's when he spins around, you'll see it. And Obi-Wan comes around and bashes him. You'll see. It's cool. Like, I didn't see it before. That's how cool these fight sequences are. And Yoda's getting zapped, trying to play into Emperor's hand. Okay, so here it comes. You'll watch him turn his back to him. Right there. That was supposed to lead into him cutting his hands off, but Obi-Wan was too fast. And all that, like, that is so awesome. Like hitting the walls and everything. Like, all of this has been picked apart with people making like little video essays about the fight sequences and stuff. And I've watched my fair share of them. Little green friend. I like how Sidious tries to run away here. He's scared. Yoda calls him out on it.
If so
Yeah. Why leave? Mhm. Yeah. Okay. So you see that they've switched lightsabers there. That's because these fight sequences were a lot longer. They went on for a lot longer. Um, but yeah, now he gets his own lightsaber back. Boom. Huh. And this is a cool shot. When you finally realize, oh, they're underneath. They're underneath the Senate chamber. That's cool, man. Like that's epic, right? And he never like I heard people saying, "Oh yeah, Yoda's going to fight the Emperor," and it's like, no, they're not going to have that, are they? But yeah, they do, and it's cool. Yeah, and force push each other back. Oh, see the force fields going down. And there's Duel of the Fates music. Yeah, you play all your cards now, right? Musically. It's so cool. Now, some people have issues with the Emperor laughing all the time, but he's laughing because he's scared, I think. Yeah, when Yoda loses his cloak and crawls away, I was gutted, yeah. But I like the look here when he uses the Force. That, yeah, you can't beat me. Not like this. It's just unfortunate that he got blown back so far. Now, in extended cuts of that, there were clone troopers on the platforms that Yoda was fighting first before he jumped on to fight the Emperor. So clone troopers were coming into the stadium here, and that's why Yoda has to retreat. But they cut that stuff out. Coming up to one of my favorite shots in all of Star Wars, I would say. When the lava starts shooting up behind them and stuff. Breathtaking. Yeah. Yeah, that's so epic.
Activate your homing beam.
Yeah, see how the clone troopers are on the platforms there? There were much more of them. And Yoda was starting to realize he was getting overwhelmed because not only were they shooting at him, but the Emperor was starting to throw the consoles down at him. Yeah. So my little switching of events would have just made it easier if there was that big lava cavern. He just goes down on Coruscant. They're both on Coruscant. He knows quickly how to get there, but instead he's got to fly through hyperspace to Mustafar to get there. Whatever. It's minor. All this stuff is great. And I gotta tell you, when I watched this in the theater, it affected me a lot more than I thought it would. Because at the time, Lucas had announced that he had no interest in doing episodes 7, 8, or 9. So when I was watching it, I was kind of like, this is going to be the last Star Wars film that we see.
Into exile. I must go. Failed, I have.
Yeah. And the music. The music really helped feel this. So Obi-Wan jumped onto a platform, and Anakin's still on the thing. There's a cool shot here too. I like that shot. George Lucas, I believe, was going to be the first version of Revenge of the Sith by this, but he scrapped it, I think. What?
I have failed you, Anakin. I have failed you.
Yeah. And no. Don't try it. Yeah. Cut off his legs and his arm. Obi-Wan knew that move from episode 1. He tried it on Darth Maul. But Anakin was so arrogant, he tried it. There's a line here I wish they kept in. Anakin says, "Help me, Master." And then Obi-Wan says that. And then he says, I hate you, after Obi-Wan says no.
I loved you.
Yeah. So hard. Those lines are so hard, and Ewan nailed them. Yeah. Like a samurai dicing an apple, Obi-Wan dispenses with Anakin. The thing was that Anakin was also starting to get full of himself, thinking that he was all powerful and stuff. So he thought that you can't stop me from me jumping over. Great fight sequence, though. And seeing it on the big screen, too. Guys, if you ever do get the chance, and they do put it on theaters again, with a big sound system, it's breathtaking. Yeah. No, he's not all right. So I wish, no, I don't wish, but like, he's using the dark side here to stay alive. He's fighting through the pain. Obviously, he can't breathe very well, but he's using anything, his intense anger here, to stay alive. And I think Palpatine helps him here. Like, yeah, he's still alive.
Right away.
Because you see Palpatine go and kneel beside him here, right? And it's like, yeah, it would be good if they released the entire Star Wars in theater. Back to the Future, Superman 1 are playing current my closest theater. Oh, nice, cool. Well, as I said, I think they are playing Return of the Jedi in the theater this month. So here is where you would have heard Liam Neeson's voice. He was communing with a Qui-Gon here. I don't know why they cut it out, because it was in the script. And it would have been a perfect time to have Anakin or Obi-Wan or Yoda hear Qui-Gon. Because we heard his voice in episode 2 when he killed the Tusken Raiders. Christopher, Yoda and Anakin alternate version is what I meant, James. Not sure. But you see what I mean by flipping things around here, right? And just makes, because he's got to fly all the way to that planet. Then they fly all the way back to Coruscant so that he can get fixed up by droids. If they were all on Coruscant there, it just would, just minor, make things tighter.
We are losing her.
We're losing her. She's lost the will to live. She thinks that twins. And this is the only, this is another change I would have made. I would have had Leia come out first. But I like how Lucas put, like, the birth of the twins with like the birth of Darth Vader in the costume. I like that juxtaposition. That's art. Poetry to me. The contrast. Yeah. Yeah. It just would have made more sense if Leia came out first. But Luke comes out first. Just so that, you know, as a baby, you could have just explained that she saw the mother. And if Luke died, or she died before she got to see Luke, that would have even been better.
It's a girl.
Yeah. I like this too. You can see like the mask being lowered on his face. Kind of like a prison, right? Here's your new cell. Darth Vader is such an iconic figure. Some people that I was watching it with the first time in the theater, they didn't know that it was Darth Vader, that Darth Vader, until that moment. And they were like, oh. And it's kind of a reveal, too, to younger people. That's how it happened. Or that was that character. Huh. That was my favorite part of this movie, when Obi-Wan cuts off Anakin's arms and legs. That part was so crying emotional when he said, "I was your brother." Yeah. Chris Schober, that's Ewan McGregor, right? That's his. And those are difficult lines to pull off with that emotion. And that is Hayden Christensen in that suit there.
Can you hear me?
Where is Padme? Is she safe?
So how would Palpatine know that? Is he lying? He's just breaking it off. Now, I know some people make fun of the no line, but I like how you see Palpatine smiling behind him. He knows the monster that he's created. Hidden, safe.
Split up, they should be.
She will be loved with us.
With Bail Organa.
Until the time is right.
Yeah. So, training.
Training.
An old friend has learned the path.
Force.
Old master.
Qui-Gon.
How to commune with him.
I think it would have been more powerful if they actually showed him. He appeared to them as a Force ghost there.
Have the protocol droid's mind wiped.
What?
So that's what happened to the droids. They get their minds wiped. But you see, the Sith were always looking for a way to cheat death, but it was really Qui-Gon Jinn that found the way, right? Okay, so this is Padme's procession, funeral procession. We see her parents. That's her parents from that deleted scene that we saw in episode 2. Boss Nass and Jar Jar. The new queen, Naboo. And she's carrying the Japor snippet that he carved. So that's supposed to be Grand Admiral, or that's supposed to be Grand Moff Tarkin there, or Tarkin, whatever rank he would have been, standing beside him. A look-alike like Tarkin, it's supposed to be. Building the Death Star in the background. I like that shot too. That the Geonosians were supposed to be building, but I guess it's people on colonies like where Andor was imprisoned. We get to see Alderaan, our first look at Alderaan here. Where Leia's going to be. And I really like the stuff with Alderaan and Bail Organa in the Obi-Wan series. All of that stuff really stands out. Jimmy Smits. Good casting. I hope we get to see more of him too in season 2 of Andor. And then they filmed the not this scene. This is on the stage somewhere. But when they're holding the baby and looking up at the sun, they filmed that scene when they shot episode 2. So there's Aunt Beru. And this going up to Owen. And Joel Edgerton, yeah, great casting there. And that's it. Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Great movie. I really enjoy this movie a lot. It's hard to watch though. There are scenes in it, like the Order 66 is hard to watch. It's hard to and then even too when she's breaking up, saying you're going down a path I can't follow, and it's like the heartbreak in her eyes from Natalie Portman. I was getting a lump in my throat just watching it now, and I've seen this movie countless times. That's how good she is. Chris Schober says Hayden Christensen's character didn't get that deserved what he got for The Rise of Skywalker and his Force Ghost. He should have gone the right. Yeah, that's sequel trilogy. Like, okay, if they figured out how to do the at the end of Return of the Jedi, why the heck was Anakin's Force Ghost not warning Kylo Ren? Like, they just didn't think that sequel trilogy out. And maybe the sequel trilogy will grow on me in 20 years or so, but I doubt it. Because it just seemed like they just didn't have a plan. But I'm digressing. There's a lot of cool stuff in this movie. There's a lot of great lore. Like, that's one thing that Lucas had a good handle on. He had a good handle on marshaling all these storylines together. Even though that, the story premise is cool. I can see people complaining about the dialogue at parts. You don't hear a lot of people complaining too much about the dialogue in this one, though. oh, he was under a lot of stress, what Roger Ebert said. But for that, I don't really care too much. It's just an awesome movie, man. It truly is. Glass in the live chat says it would have been awesome if Yoda took Luke as a baby to train. We would have seen an amazing Jedi. Well, yeah. Yeah, things kind of wrapped up a little there at the end where we didn't get quite all the information as to why they had to go into hiding. Well, yeah, you knew that they were going to be hunting them and stuff, but why, if you get knocked down, you get back up and you fight again? Why couldn't Yoda and Obi-Wan go back to the Emperor? It's because he was surrounding himself with security and stuff like that. There's minor things. Chris Silver says even the deleted scenes of the Force Ghosts, yeah, Blu-ray, and J.J. Abrams forced Kathleen Kennedy to put those deleted scenes on the Blu-ray, and she didn't. Yeah. I put out a video yesterday. I clipped my little thing of that quote that we looked at from Kathleen Kennedy. Up on YouTube last night. 7.6 on IMDb. And as I said, when I watched that in the theater, at the time, I was with the understanding that that was the last Star Wars movie we were ever going to see. So I was actually kind of feeling bummed out after seeing it. I saw this. I used to work for a company called BlackBerry, and they rented out one whole theater for advanced screenings of this. So our shifts got to go like at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning because we worked 12-hour shifts. We would go and see it like there were showings at 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock, and our shift saw it like at the 3 o'clock show. So it was like 5 o'clock in the morning when we came out, and I was like, I was bummed out. It was kind of like, yeah, that was the last Star Wars movie we were ever going to see. But then, of course, we know that Lucas went on to sell Lucasfilm, and we got more. Natalie Portman, always a standout. Hayden Christensen, I really liked in this one. Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan was fantastic. Samuel L. Jackson, some tweaks there. Yeah. Christopher Lee, Count Dooku. And I hope you enjoyed watching that with me, with having some of the other kind of like extended knowledge of who is in it and stuff. Let's go over to the tomato meter and see what people said about this. 79% by critics, 66% by the audience. So the audience didn't like it as much as the critics. But I think that has changed over time. As I said, the younger generations that are watching it now, they didn't know about the blowback that like, oh, you shouldn't have done it like this. Oh, I hate Jar Jar. Oh, I don't like that. And it's kind of like, you know how Red Letter Media posted their critique of the Star Wars stuff? Most people don't agree with that kind of analysis anymore of like, and I know they did it for comedy. I know they, like Red Letter Media did their prequel hate videos for comedy. I know that, but it just, a lot of people jumped on the bandwagon, like even when it came out, it was like, ew, this dialogue is gross. It's like, these are the worst movies ever. And in fact, you still get so-called Star Wars fans saying that, oh, I hate the prequels, but I love, it's like the worst turds ever. No, they're not. There's a lot of value in these. Even if you don't like certain things about it, there's still some really good stuff in these. And that's what I feel about it. And it's got a lot of cool extended scenes and a lot of like documentaries, the making of Star Wars and stuff that really add in to your experience for sure. The technical wizardry, the special effects, the ear-buzzing sound, mind-numbing action, and those magnificent lightsabers are all there. But yeah, it's cool. And when you watch it with somebody who knows like the little nuances, like as I said with the fighting, with how Anakin tried to use the same move that he used on Dooku on Obi-Wan, but Obi-Wan, he was aware of it, right? Like he was better than him. Just little things like that too. It helps enrich your experience. And then people who just casually say, "Oh, the lightsaber battles were trash." No, they were not, man. And you watch some of the stunt work that Nick Gillard was doing behind the scene, was awesome. I was just awesome. And I like the costuming in this. Everything that Padme, his costumes were great. The Jedi costumes were great. I like how it was, Anakin's was a lot more darker in this one with the black leather. I like the arm design. Hayden Christensen. Cool stuff, man. Cool stuff. Yeah. Natalie Portman, Padme. If they ever do like an Obi-Wan season 2, I would like to have seen scenes where maybe she didn't know it, but if we could see like young Leia watching videos of like Padme, that would be awesome. Like of her in the Senate and stuff like that as her training. There's some of the poster work, I suppose. Yeah. Cool stuff, man. And there was like deleted scenes that explained the relationship between Palpatine and Anakin more and stuff like that. If I got one wish, I would wish that they would restore the scenes of like the creation of the rebellion. Let me see if I can pull up one of those right now quickly. Yeah, I'm going to pull this up. Yeah, in just over an hour, guys, we're watching Mandalorian Season 3. This is just one of the scenes, of them all in the apartment, talking about, like, there's Bail Organa with Mon Mothma. So it's the same actress who played Mothma in the deleted scenes here, and you can see her with Padme and Bail Organa. It was the same actress that played her in Andor. So that's cool that and Rogue One. She was also in Rogue One. So that stuff was cool. I dug that. Yeah. So I would have liked to see a version with all of that restored now, especially because it makes more sense now that you know what Mon Mothma does in Andor and stuff. It just I thought it would be just kind of cool. But anyway, that's just minor stuff. Okay, guys, that's it. Revenge of the Sith. If we get copyright claims like we did for episode 2, I'm going to download this immediately right after, and I'll preserve it so that I can edit it out later and stuff like that. But I will deal with copyright claims as they come in. What else can you find here on the channel? Well, you can find things for movie reviews like Air. We just did Grumpy Man Reacts where I kind of messed up the audio for Inside Out, but I enjoyed Inside Out. I'm going to be putting up the poll for our next Grumpy Man, Big Hero 6, Beauty and the Beast, and Moana. Yeah, we just watched episode 3. And yeah, in just over an hour. In an hour from now, we'll be watching Mandalorian episode 7. Looking forward to that. Tomorrow, we'll be watching Survivor episode 7. And we watch horror movies like The Menu. We do a horror weekly on the weekends. Mondays and Fridays, we do movie news. And if we ever do get time in between, we do pick up movie news here and there and stuff like that. So if you like movies and stuff, you'll like everything here on Mirror Domains. So there are my social media handles that you can follow. As I said, next week we'll be watching the Clone Wars movie, where we get introduced to Padme, or not Padme, to Ahsoka. So yeah, now I've seen that movie once in the theater, the Clone Wars movie. So it'll be my second time watching the Clone Wars movie, but that'll set us up nicely because next week Mandalorian finishes, and that'll leave like the Clone Wars for us to watch throughout the summer and stuff as we lead up to August when we get Ahsoka series. So we'll burn through, I think, 2 at a time, I think, for Clone Wars. And I'm looking forward to it, man. I really am. Because I enjoyed that small animated stuff that kind of got retconned and was said that it was not canon anymore. But we'll roll with the punches as it comes along. Thank you very much for joining me on this watch along, guys. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Mirror Domains, or in an hour for Mandalorian. We're gonna watch Mandalorian. Oh yeah.